Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to the Sanderson Show. As always, I'm joined by the partner in crime, my good man, Luke Tanner. Hope you're well, Luke. The
Absolute
weather's
fan.
hot. The
I'm
weather's
trying
hot.
not to melt away.
But we've
Man,
got a very, very fire card at the weekend as well. The UFC returns to London after the success of the March card. March, bro, look, it feels so far away, but it wasn't even that long ago.
I know.
But it was so nice. They've done it twice and they are coming back. And it is a very, very good card. The headliner, Tom Aspinall versus Blaydes, is a massive fight in the heavyweight
I
division.
cannot wait.
Massive fight. Obviously, unfortunately, Darren Till had to drop out of this one through injury. So Chris Curtis will take his place fighting Hermanson. We've also got Meatball Molly McCann and Paddy the Baddie. Paddy Pimblett returns to London as well. Luke, on the whole, how are you feeling about this card?
Hey, I cannot wait for this card. Back in London again, Dana said that he was going to scrap the plans. He was coming back and he's delivered. And it's yet again, it's another fire card. It's pretty much got all the same British fighters back on the card. Paul Craig, Molly McCann, Paddy Pimblett. Obviously, unfortunately, no Darren Till, but it has got an Mason Jones who's making his. He'll be on the prelims, headlining another Welshman. So it's stacked, full of British talent, and it's showing that we're sort of in a golden age of British MMA. We've got loads of look at the talent that's not on that card. Till, Arnold Allen, Jack Shaw not on the card. Leon Edwards. Crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's longer the days where these cards were just reliant on Michael Bisping. Now you've got a whole roster of UK fighters that
Or just Darren
the
Till.
card.
Because there was times where it was
Yeah.
like Darren Till was the star power and that was it.
Now you got Paddy, you got Tom. It's looking bright. It's looking bright over this side of the pond. So let's start with it then. The main event. Last time Tom Aspinall absolutely destroyed Volkov. Destroyed him, made it look easy as well, pieced him up on the feet, took him down at will, and submitted him. Now he's going up against the wrestler in Curtis Blaydes, who's been in there with the best of the best in the division. He's been in there with the champion twice, been there with Derek Lewis. Now, granted, those have been on losing sides, but he has also been in there with Overeem, the likes of Junior Dos Santos. How do you think Tom Aspinall approaches this?
I think he goes more that boxing stance. You know how he started the Volkov fight. Tom Aspinall looked like he's huge. He's 240.
Yeah.
Moves like a middleweight. That speed is just next level speed at that division. And I think at heavyweight, I think you're seeing it a lot more. The fighters are a lot quicker. It's not the slow, ponderous style. They are quick across the ground. And I think Tom is definitely going to use that to keep out of Blaydes' range to shoot for the takedown. But I've got no fear that if Aspinall gets taken down, he's not going to, hang on the mat with Blaydes. Let's not kid ourselves. Tom Aspinall's a Brazilian black belt in jiu-jitsu. So he's not like, if he's going to get taken down, it's like, oh, well, this fight's over. But I do feel like he'll get most of the success on the feet because I know Blaydes has been knocking a few people out recently. And the saying, when wrestlers fall in love with their hands, they forget what's got them to the dance. And if that is the case, if Blaydes is in love with the striking, I do think Aspinall is by far one of the best strikers at heavyweight. Then Blaydes could be getting an early night.
Very true. And here's the thing. Blaydes' most recent win against Chris Dorcas was via TKO, but before that was against Rosenstrike, who is predominantly a striker, and he wrestled him in that. So Blaydes has shown throughout his career he can do both, especially recently. His hands are getting much better. The thing is with Aspinall, though, I don't think he's come across anyone with the movement. Obviously, he's come across the power. He's come across Francis Ngannou, who is the most powerful most powerful MMA fighter in history, if we're going to be honest. So he's come up against amazing power, but I don't think he's come up against someone who puts the footwork together, submissions, takedowns, the kicking as well. I think Aspinall meshes everything together fantastically. So for me, this is more a question of how Aspinall deals with the wrestling approach of Blaydes, because I think he's shown up to this point he deals with everything else. Is this the last sort of acid test before Aspinall can say, right, I'm now ready for a title shot?
Yeah, however, I do believe like you're seeing the way it's shaping up at heavyweight. You've got the Paris event literally a couple of months down the line. Garn versus Tuivasa, and I do believe the winner of this week's main event will go against the winner of the France main event, and then they're going to go against the winner of Stipe Jones. Should that happen, or if it happens, then I do reckon, unless Dana goes, you know what, Jones, you're messing me about now. It's going to be Garn versus Aspinall for the interim gold, and they'll wait whilst Francis is healing up. But it is so interesting. This is definitely the toughest test in Aspinall's career, and like we're actually going to see him last more than a couple of rounds, because usually like his fights are like.
I mean, we say that, but you never know with Tom.
Yeah,
he could still end it early.
That Arlovsky fight, this is going to be a big test for Tom. Round 2, gets the takedown, gets the rear naked choke. Volkov's going to be a big test. How are you going to deal with a big kickboxer? Bang, first round submission. This will be his most difficult test, and I want to see how he does in the championship rounds, because if he gets it, if the movement is still fresh, if he still looks fresh in the championship rounds, then we've definitely got another UK contender for UFC gold.
I completely agree, and I almost feel as though every great champion has to go through a wrestler or credible wrestler. You think back to Conor McGregor's run, it was Chad Mendes.
Yes.
You think back to Izzy Adesanya, it was Marvin Vettori. Like all these fighters, these top fighters, these top champions, Anderson Silva had to go through Sonham before he really stamped his authority, and everyone was like, he is undoubtedly the guy. John Jones kind of was the wrestler, but obviously Daniel Cormier had to go through the wrestling, Daniel Cormier, and before that had to go through Ryan Bader before he actually got the title shot as well.
Yeah,
all these great fighters and these great champions have had to go through a wrestler. But is there a danger in falling too much for the wrestling game of Blaydes and leaving himself open, do you think? Do you think Blaydes could actually give him problems on the feet?
Possibly that, but that's only if Aspinall's, too overconfident, if he doesn't respect the hands of Blaydes. But when you look at, when you watch his interviews, he's nothing. I don't think he's ever discredited discredited Blaydes' skills. So I don't think he is going to overlook that part of the game. Of course, his hands aren't as good as his wrestling, but I'm pretty sure all the fighters know that to be at this level, you've got to be elite. And his wrestling's elite. His hands are getting there, but I don't think Aspinall's going to be discrediting the power of Blaydes. He should just look at his last fight against Chris Daukaus and should know that, shouldn't be disrespecting the hands.
Completely agree. If going into the fight, Tom Aspinall's ranked 6th, Blaydes is ranked 4th. Obviously, if Aspinall gets the win here, he'll be moved up to 4th. So, prediction time. Predict these things. Who wins and how?
Aspinall. Third, 4th round knockout or 4th round TKO. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go Aspinall by decision.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
We've only seen Blaydes lose 3 times, and to the 2 heaviest hitters in the division. Obviously, Lewis put him out completely, and then Garney stopped him twice.
My God, yeah.
That was one of the worst knockouts.
Got the uppercut. Oh, my days.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Get through some of these comments before we move on to the co-main. Shout out to Hassan. Thanks very much for joining. Please do smash the like button if you haven't already, guys. Shout out to Danny as well. Danny up the Reds. Jamie Phillips, Football Chats, the legend that is. Question for you guys: do UFC put on too many shows? Selfishly, I'm gonna say no, because
No, I think they're at the right amount. If they do too many, I think you'll overload the fans. The UFC do have weekends when they take a break, which I think is good for the fans. But I think it's right. If got one criticism, get out the Apex. Don't need it anymore.
Yeah,
don't need it anymore.
Agreed.
It's great for the Contender Series, but
not for the main fights. Pimp in Distress says big up G. Miss Copies tonight. Just got home and see Sanderson show is live. Comes a close second. You'll never walk alone. Shout out Pimp in Distress. Shout out to Bonkers as well. Aspinall for the TKO. Tried to super chat but couldn't. Not monetized yet, bro. Trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers as well.
1K.
So yeah, once we get to 1K, we'll be able to do that. Also, guys, if you haven't already, click the link in the description to this video. Head over to Luke's channel and subscribe. On the road to 100 subscribers, then we'll go into 500. Then Luke's going to be on 1,000 as well. Yes. So if you've subscribed here, make sure you go over to Luke's channel and do the same as well, please, guys. Right. So the co-main event is not what we wanted, but it's what we're going to get. Not due to anyone's fault. Darren Till is one of the hardest trainers and has unfortunately picked up another injury. So it is now going to be Jack Hermansson versus the action man, Chris Curtis, who literally came off a win a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Jack Hermansson coming off a loss to Sean Strickland, who was just completely...
Yeah, less said about that, the better.
Yeah, destroyed by Alex Pereira. What's your thoughts going into this fight? And do you think the crowd are going to get back? Do you think the crowd will get into it like they would have for the Till Hermansson fight?
I don't know. The crowd could be flat. Depends of where the crowd is going to be at this point. But I do think it's a massive opportunity for Chris Curtis, because if he gets the win, he's ranked just inside that top 10.
Yeah.
And he'll get close to, potentially getting into that top 5. So I think it's a massive opportunity for him. It's a massive opportunity for Jack Hermansson to get back in the win column, because that main event that he was in against Strickland was so bad, so boring. I thought he looked, miles off the pace would be too rude, but I thought he looked a little off the pace, didn't look as sharp, and I thought it was a really boring fight. But the action man, I do think this is a star-making potential performance. He gets the win, strap the rocket, especially in London. If he can get the crowd on side as well, then my God, I think he could blow the roof off the place.
I completely agree. And as you said, currently, Curtis is unranked.
It's a massive opportunity.
Hermansson's ranked number 8. So he could be jumping all the way to 8th place with a win. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a big fan of Chris Curtis. I remember the first fight I saw him in, and he was getting pieced up and then just countered with a fantastic left hook and shut out the fight. And he's so game to fight, and his striking is so good. The only concern is he taking this on too short notice? Jack Hermansson's wrestling and his jiu-jitsu is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
His striking, obviously, is not to be slept on either. Curtis, I do think, is the better striker. But it's about peaking, and athletes will know, especially fighters, that peaking at the right time is good, and then your body gets some rest. But he says he loves to fight. He says he feels fresh after the last fight. Do you think Hermansson's in a lose-lose situation with this situation, though?
Yes, I do. Because if he beats Curtis, it's going to be like, well, you should have beaten Curtis because he's not ranked. He fought 2 weeks' notice. And if he loses, he'll go, I didn't take him seriously, did he? He thought he was going to show up. He thought he'd wrestle, and he thought he'd win. But the only way Hermansson actually gains anything is if he, has a viral moment, viral knockout, viral submission. Because if it's another labor decision win, it's going to be like, okay, great. It's not really done anything for you. It'll just be, okay, great. You'll probably get someone, like a Duplessis next or something like that. Yeah. So, yeah, he is in the lose-lose, unfortunately.
All right. So I'll go first in this prediction. I'm gonna go for the upset. I might be going with my heart more than my head, but I'm gonna go with the upset. I think Curtis is very good at absorbing shots and slipping and countering, and his takedown defense is very underestimated as well. I'm gonna go for the upset here.
Oh, I don't know. I want to. You know, I'll be different, and I'll go with a Hermanson unanimous decision. I think I don't want it to happen, but I think he'll just wrestle him. I think he'll grind him out. I think he'll do what he did to Edwin Shabazian, the more talented striker, but got him down to the mat and kept in there for 3 rounds. And I think it'll probably be the same in this one, unfortunately.
I'm going for a TKO in the second round. I'm going bold. I'm going bold. And he'll be cornered by Darren Till as well. So even though Darren Till won't be fighting, he will be there as well. So I reckon he'll get the fanfare that will just push him over the edge.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it, Luke.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna be completely wrong, but I'm gonna go for it. Now, onto the people's main event, everyone would say. Paddy the Baddy versus the twerker of the division. Jordan Leavitt. And again, Jordan's coming into hostile territory for this. Paddy has shown and is showing he's got that star power. He's got the ability to knock someone out or submit someone. Jordan Leavitt, though, is very good on the ground.
Ground game, yeah.
And he's decent at striking as well. And he doesn't seem like someone who's going to be flustered by the outside noise and the fanfare.
He already said, like, if he wins, he's going to be twerking in the
Well, he said he's got something planned that's going to could cause a riot, he said. So what's your thoughts on this fight? Do you think Leavitt has got a chance, or do you think Paddy's just going to be too baddie for him?
I think he's got a chance. Because you have seen in both of Paddy's fight, he can get hit. Chin is wide, like it is hanging out, and it's there.
He literally puts it out there.
And we've said this with so many fighters. We've seen it with Tony Ferguson. You know, the iron chin does go eventually. Obviously, we're not going to say if it's going to go now, but it could go at any fight if the chin does hang out. But, you know, Paddy's ground game is elite. That jiu-jitsu is just elite. It's different level. Just trying to think. I think Paddy's going to do it. I think Paddy's going to have another viral moment because he knows there's pressure on him. He knows there's pressure, and so far he's definitely stepped up to the plate. So far, and this will be another big test. It's another step up in opposition. And let's hope that if he does win, this guy doesn't get cut because you notice Paddy's last 2 opponents have been cut from the UFC. Completely.
I don't think Jordan Leavitt will get cut.
I know, but it's sort of been like a funny thing. Like both Paddy's opponents have both been cut from the UFC, so it's the Paddy curse.
Looking at the tail of the tape for both, the current record for Leavitt is he's 110, only lost the once. In terms of height, 1 inch difference, Paddy slightly taller, reach 2 inches. Again, Paddy slightly got longer arms, and leg reach is 1 inch. So they are pretty much matched up as well as you can be physically. Again, it's on Paddy though. And do you think Paddy's approach to this will be more or less gung-ho than it has been in the past? And if it is less so, how will he adapt to that?
I don't know, you know, because I feel like he's going to be one of those fighters that always puts on a barn burner.
Okay.
Whether or not his team's going to like it or not.
Yeah.
You know, like you get those fighters go, wow, this guy's going to be guaranteed. He's going to throw in the kitchen sink. He's barely going to listen to his corner. Well, barely going to listen to his corner. But, you know, he's going to have barn burner after barn burner. But I do feel like that could cost him. I do feel like he's got to be more tactical. Of course, use the crowd to G1, but don't get lost in the crowd. Because I think if he gets lost in that whole vibe of London again, he could get caught. He could get a bit sloppy, but I don't think we've seen anything in the build up to this is going to say that he's already lost focus. He always seems like very going to take care of this opponent, and then it's going to be moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
So I do think he's fully focused. I don't think you're going to be seeing him looking away. I think he already said on Twitter some guy who wants to fight in December as well this year. Like he wants to be on the December card in the US.
Okay.
Which, hey, imagine if he gets a big win off of here. He's not been at a numbered event yet in the US, so it'll be massive for him to get the W here.
I think it'd be massive for the UFC if they were to get Paddy on a numbered card as well. I think it actually works hand in hand with when it comes to Paddy at the moment. Prediction time then. Does Paddy do it? Yes. Or does Leavitt bring the biggest of surprises?
Nah, Paddy does it. Paddy does it. I'm going to go submission, round 3, flying triangle.
That's as bold as you can go. I'm actually going to go. I'm going to go round 2 submission for Paddy.
Yeah.
I think the first round, I think it will be quite a cagey first round, if I'm going to be honest. I don't think Jordan Leavitt will just engage for the sake of it. I think Paddy will start getting to him, and by the second round, I think he will sub him. Yeah. And I think I'm interested to see what he says in the post-match. I'm interested to see if he calls out anyone as well. So,
trying to think,
very much looking
who's he beefing with at the moment? That at lightweight,
no one really, from what I've seen.
They've been beefing with Tapora.
I mean, question. Without going too far. If Paddy wins this, does he get a ranked opponent next?
Who's ranked?
So this is all right. So I'm just looking at this division, the 55 division.
Like 15 to 10, because I reckon they wouldn't give him anyone higher than like.
So
15.
11th is Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
12 is Connor. He's not going to have that. Hooker is 13th.
Nope.
Jalen Turner, who just destroyed Brad Riddell in a few seconds.
No, I'll be keeping way away from him.
And Damir Ismagulov. No top 15 guy. I think Paddy said he's going to take his time. There are still a couple of unranked guys that I'd love to see him against.
Yeah, Bobby Green is definitely one that I'd want to see.
I think it's a crime that Bobby Green's not in that top 15.
Yeah, I know, but
Bobby Green would be a bloody fun fight.
You beat Bobby Green, you get a title shot. Just saying, you beat Bobby Green, you get a title.
Yeah, Brad Riddell,
Diego Ferreira.
Yeah, 55 is a hell of a division.
Stacked.
Blimey. Well, both going Paddy on that one. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. On to the next bout. Nikita Krylov versus Alexander Gustafsson. So Krylov coming off, his second time he'll be fighting in London in the year. Remember, he went down against Paul Craig. Looked like he was beating Paul Craig up, and then got caught. The Paul Craig special. Off of his back, triangle, tap, game over. Back on the same card as Paul Craig, but not fighting him. He's fighting the mauler, Alexander Gustafsson, at light heavyweight. He'll be returning from heavyweight to light heavyweight. Obviously, he's been out a little bit for injury.
Yeah,
he's kind of had a renaissance through Hamzat. Hamzat's obviously a teammate through Hamzat. His name's been getting more traction again. Is this last chance saloon for Gustafsson, in your opinion?
100%. Remember when he jumped up to heavyweight, lost to Fabrizio Verdum? I think he got tapped out in the first round, if memory serves me correctly, on Fire Island. And then since then, he's sort of gone away. Yeah, I think he knows it. It's his last shot. It will definitely go down in UFC folklore of having some of the best of being the light heavyweight bridesmaid, never the bride. Unfortunately, he had great bouts with John Jones, DC, Glover Teixeira, but yeah, this is definitely the last chance saloon.
He's on a 3-fight skid. Obviously, ages ago was Jones, Anthony Smith, and then Verdun.
It would not surprise me one bit if he loses and you see the gloves unwrap, and he said, "I'm done."
It'll literally be 2 years to the day since he last fought.
Yeah,
well, not to the exact day, but give or take.
Yeah, I do feel like we'll see him retire. I think he might lose. I think we'll see his gloves come off in the center of the octagon.
Is he the best? Is he the best light heavyweight to never win gold?
Oh, that's a best light heavyweight to never win gold. That might be a video in itself. Best fighters never to win UFC gold.
Yeah,
because possibly. Yeah, maybe. Possibly one of the best 205ers never to hold the gold. But yeah, he'll be joining a list of fighters that should have probably won it.
Yeah.
But wrong era.
Well, John Jones era. If you're in the John Jones era, you are in the wrong era because the guy is that good. Couple of comments here. Jamie Phillips says, already sub to Luke. Well done, Jamie.
Yeah, I need to come to the channel at some point.
Say again?
I'd love to go on Jamie's channel at some point.
Hey, you heard it first, Jamie. Let's make it happen, bro. You and Luke would make some fantastic content. Bonkers LFC says Curtis is a better striker. Completely agree. It's Naystar says, geez, fresh trim cow. Yep, finally got one. Finally back. I'm finally back. Demo Trey says, I heard Curtis and thought, you know what? LOL, big up, guys. You thought Curtis Jones. No slander. Curtis. Bonker says, Paddy will destroy Leavitt and Molly McCann will win by either sub or decision. So that leads us nicely onto Meatball Molly. She'll be fighting Hannah Goldie. I'm sorry, in fact, we've not even done the predictions for Gustafsson Krylov.
Yes. I'm going Krylov TKO round 2.
I'm going Krylov TKO round 1.
I
am. But I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong.
Yeah. I hope you're wrong, but I think you might be right.
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong. Oh, come on, Alex. Hope you get it, man. On to Molly versus Hannah Goldie. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say to you, Luke, I know much about Hannah Goldie, but I know a hell of a lot about Molly. And shout out to BT Sport, who did a fantastic documentary on her and just kind of followed her journey and some of her highs and lows. Molly's a fantastic storyteller, and it just gave you a little insight as to what fighters go through outside the cage and how they've got to build themselves back up after a loss, whether it be inside the cage or outside the cage. And I think the amount of people who have become more loving and more sort of happy for Molly McCann has just gone through the roof after watching that documentary. So again, not an opponent we know much about.
Yeah, I'm just checking. I'm looking at who she's last fought.
Yeah.
And she won by decision against Emily Whitmire, armbar, and that was September 2021. And she lost 2 before that to Diana Berlita by unanimous decision and lost to Miranda Granger, unanimous decision as well.
I think this fight is set up for Molly to do something special.
Yeah, this is set up because when you look at how she's won, I think she's only won 1 knockout, 1 by submission, and the rest by decision. But her only losses have been by decision as well.
That leads me to think we could see another highlight reel. Now, arguably, Molly, for me, has got one of the top 2 knockouts so far this year in the UFC. Yes. The only other one I think goes in the categories of the Michael Chandler versus Tony Ferguson.
Oh my God.
Which was as brutal as it gets. In my opinion, I still have Molly as number one, but I wouldn't begrudge anyone for having Chandler as number one.
Yeah.
Do you think this is, again, another fight where Molly's going to display her dominance and her knockout power?
I think it's another opportunity to increase her star power and definitely to climb the ranks. Will she ever get a title shot? Maybe, maybe not. But it's another moment for her. Which I do think, like I said, Hannah Goldie's like record. She is there for Molly to make a statement, and maybe Molly might get a ranked girl afterwards. You know, close to that top 15, maybe like a Gillian Robertson or I don't know who's ranked between 15 and 10. At
flyweight, you've got Amanda Ribas, Tracy Cortez, Erin Blackfield, Calvillo, Casey O'Neill, Macy Barber.
Casey O'Neill, no, she's a fellow Brit, and plus she's currently recovering from ACL.
Yes, she is. Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
No,
I think Cynthia Calvillo could be a good fight.
Possibly, and just trying to think if there's anyone that's hovering outside that top 15 that Molly
could, top of my head,
looking at. I will just have a look. No, because it's usually they go top 25. Because I'm pretty sure Molly McCann would be in there. Yeah, I do think it is a massive opportunity for Molly to really, step up. Okay, or could have Miesha Tate. Could have Miesha Tate because apparently she's ranked number 12 now at flyweight.
Do you know what? Molly's ranked at 24. I think she should be higher than that.
Okay, yeah, I've definitely got this wrong because she's not even ranked. Yeah, so you probably got like Amanda Ribas, Miranda Maverick.
I like the Miesha Tate fight. I think I've already been sold, Luke.
Miesha, because
star power.
Yeah, I have to say, anyone that thought that Miesha was coming back and dominating for gold,
yeah, it's crazy.
Living in the past. Living in the past. Because I watched the Murphy fight. She was outclassed from the first to the last bell.
I think it's going to take Miesha a few fights to get in the rhythm. I actually think she should have taken a lower ranked opponent. Murphy's one of the best in it. Well, she's effectively the top 3 in that division outside of Valentina.
Yeah, I think she said like when she fought Shevchenko, she should have pulled out because she wasn't fit. So she's probably going to have a number 1 contenders fight against the winner of the France main event because we look like we're going to get Shevchenko Santos too.
Is Santos going to be how long until she's ready though?
God knows. Fractured orbital bone.
I reckon they may do a fight in between that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I reckon so. I think it makes sense.
She beat? You might as well get money because I think she's pretty much gone through the top 7.
Yeah. Mano Firio.
Yeah, she's fighting in France.
That could be the fight. If she wins in good fashion, then that's the fight.
Yeah, possibly.
Be interesting to see how that goes. She's 4-0 in the UFC as well.
Ooh. Talented.
So we both saying Molly McCann by knockout?
Oh, yes. Knockout, yeah.
I'm going second round for this one.
I'm going to go third round.
Okay. Yeah, I think she'll get to her.
It's going to be 1-1 going into the third.
You reckon? I reckon Molly's going to destroy her.
Yeah. I hope so.
And, the opening fight of the card, which is a very good fight.
Yeah, very good.
Anyway. Number 8 versus number 9 in the light heavyweight division. Paul Craig versus Volkan Oezdemir.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be a hell of a fight to kick off the main card, by the way.
Yes. Ranked number 8 and number 9, respectively. I feel a little bit gutted for Paul Craig because personally, I feel like he should have got someone ranked a little bit higher. He did call out Anthony Smith, which I thought would have made a great fight. I think they were talking it up on the Bisping podcast.
Yeah.
Shout out to Michael Bisping. But I do feel like that he should have gotten someone higher. Because Paul Craig said that he wanted to be done by fighting by the end of the year.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of BS. Really.
I mean, everyone's kind of wrapped up though because Glover can't fight at the moment. Yan is waiting for the title shot. Rakic is injured. Ankalaev and Anthony Smith are fighting. Thiago Santos, if I'm not mistaken, is fighting Jamal Hill.
Yeah,
that would have only have left Dominic Reyes, and I don't know if he's ready to get back in there.
No, Dominic Reyes, I think he's going to be out for like the rest of the year. I think he's just taking time off.
Yeah, so I mean, Özdemir is the only one he could really fight. That's
it's meant to be Sanderson versus Paul Craig. Remember that rumor? It was meant to be those two fighting out at UFC London.
Who is it meant to be? Do you say, sorry?
Sanderson versus Craig.
Oh, that's a point.
At the first UFC London, that was meant to be the fight between the two, but it fell through.
So I'm not mad at this fight. It'd have been nicer if you got a higher ranked opponent, but I think everyone's kind of tied up, or there's a situation surrounding them at the moment.
Yeah.
So he has fought the best guy available, which again just shows the tenacity and the toughness of the man. So we know what Paul Craig's going to go in there and try and do.
You think he's going to get finished, and then he finishes you. That's it.
And he usually does it for a submission. However, Özdemir is another man who's been in there with ex-champions and been there with Cormier, Prohaska.
Oh, the Prohaska fight.
He's got very, very good power as well. Ground game is okay.
Yeah.
Is this literally striker versus wrestler / jiu-jitsu player? Yes. And we'll see who comes out on top.
Yes, 100%. Let's see if that chin of Paul Craig's going to hold up.
Yeah.
Going to hold up, because if Özdemir catches him clean on that jaw, I don't think the triangle out of nowhere is going to save Paul Craig. I think he's going to be out. So he's got to be careful. But yet again, when is Paul Craig ever in a boring fight?
He's not. That's why so many
people in a boring fight.
Ourselves. We love him.
Never. That's the type of fight that's going to got the game plan. Yeah. Game plan out the window straight away. The second he gets punched, he's going to game plan's out the window. He's going to be on the mat. He's going to say, "Come on, punch me." Now, I'll catch you.
Let's see what you got now.
Yeah, and I do think he'll do the same again. I do think he'll get a submission, and I do think it will be like a round 1 submission again.
You do think you'll get one again, yeah?
Yeah. I just, did you know say the luck of the Irish? It's the luck of the Scottish.
You heard it here first, guys.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go Paul Craig as well. I'm going to go second round, though. Again, I think the first round is going to be cagey, because I think Özdemir is going to know that trying to avoid. I think he's going to try and kick his legs as much as possible and then try and evade the takedown. And I think Paul gets to him in the second round, though. I think they'll engage in the second round a bit more, and Paul will get him and they'll submit him.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, as always, guys, do smash the like button. Luke, 2 quick fire questions.
Absolutely.
Who will get finish of the night? And what's going to be the fight of the night, in your opinion?
Oh, finish of the night. Jeez, finish of the night. I'm going to go Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blaydes. I think it's going to be Tom Aspinall finish. The fight of the night. Paddy versus Jordan is going to be fight of the night, I think.
So I think finish of the night.
I don't know. It's tough.
I think it's going to be Paddy. I think Paddy will get finish of the night.
Yeah.
And then fight of the night. I'm gonna go Paul Craig and Ozdemir.
Yeah, it's a tough one to call.
Yeah,
It's a tough one to call.
very much so. Guys, thank you so much. If you've watched, if you've listened, please do smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and do leave your comments below. Let us know who you think will win each of the fights, and which fight you think will be fight of the night, and who you think will get the finish of the night. As always, guys, make sure you click the link in the description. Head over to Luke's channel and subscribe there as well. You'll also see me on there doing a preview, so make sure you check that video out as well. Luke, as always, absolute pleasure, and I'm very, very grateful that you always join me for these as well.
Hey, pleasure's all mine.
And yeah, head over to Luke's channel.
Yeah,
Gonna be doing a preview there too. So yes, people, thank you all for watching. Until next time, take care.